to another Get Hooked episode. This is the video podcast where I like to share all about my finished objects, current whips, what I'm currently reading, and maybe like a life update or two. If you hear some background noise, I am running the washing machine. It is Sunday the 21st of July 2024. It's a little bit earlier than I usually film. It's 9:30, so the sun is very bright from the side, but nonetheless, here we are, and I'm excited to share. My name is Adele, and you can find me as Hooked on Art on all the socials. That's Instagram, Facebook, Ravelry, and yeah, all those fun places. Okay, so let's jump straight into it. I am wearing an FO, and this is so much fun. I loved making this, and I'm so glad that it's finished and I can actually wear it. It is a bright pink floofy cardigan. I'm going to get a better view of it. I put the cutest little buttons on, and I think the red was just the perfect pop of color that this cardigan needed. It's made in one of Al's new yarn bases, Nirvana Chunky. It is a acrylic and nylon blend, and it's just so much fun. I don't have any other words. It is so much fun to work with. It is extremely soft. I've been wearing this all morning, and it's so nice and comfy and warm. And yeah, I just love this. So the pattern I used for this is the Step by Step cardigan by Handmade by Florence. It's a top-down Raglan construction V-neck, V-line cardigan. So completely seamless construction, and you can make this in any, I think it's an iron weight, chunky weight yarn, and I'm definitely making another one. Okay, so now I have a fun one, and now I need a more formal one that I can actually wear to work on days where I have to meet with stakeholders, so parents or other teachers, but I can't get over this yarn. Okay, so just some details. I followed this exactly to the pattern, except for the sleeves. Let me stand up, hopefully you can see. Yeah, I made the sleeve a little bit shorter than suggested in the pattern, because what I've noticed in the past is I like to make the sleeves too long, and then I end up with a bunch of fabric cropped up by the fold of the elbow, and I didn't like that. So I shortened the sleeve length slightly, which I don't think is perfect for mid-winter days, but on days like today it's not too cold. I'm wearing a short sleeve t-shirt, so this is actually perfect, and my hands are free to do whatever I want to do, and I don't feel constricted by all the fabric bunching up. So exactly to pattern when it comes to the length of the cardigan, which is slightly cropped. It hits me right on the hip, so a little bit more cropped than I would normally aim for in a cardigan. So if I make this again, I'm definitely going to increase the length slightly, because I like a cardigan at the back to touch just like in the middle of my bum. So this one is a little bit more cropped, but I love it, so it's definitely going to get wear out of it. The only modification I did make, and I spoke about this in episode 10, is the button band. Especially with this yarn, I didn't see myself going through all of that effort and not seeing the streamlined look of a button band. So I ended up crocheting the button band. It was tough to crochet with this yarn, I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't see the stitches, so I was purely going off of feel, and I think because I've been crocheting for so long, I could do that easily, and the button band turned out great. Love the pop of color of the buttons. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this pattern. It's available for free on Ravelry. You just need to read the description very carefully, and you can get this pattern for free. But yeah, it's definitely in the cards for me to make another one, and I think I'm actually going to use Rodeo Yarns' Rodeo base for my second version. But yeah, this one is a lot of fun, and I think it just love how it came out. So that's the only FO I have for this episode. I have a half finished object because it's a pair of socks, some progress on some of my other jerseys that I've been working on, and no new cast-ons. Purely because I did say that when I'm done with one of the cardigans or one of the projects that I'm busy with, I'll start another cardigan or another project. But work these last 2 weeks have been crazy. I've not managed to calm myself down enough and get into a proper routine at work yet, and I'm hoping that this week brings about that calm. So just some backstory. End of term 2, one of the people in our department resigned, and I basically had to take over his timetable. That would have started this term, which it did, and he had 2 matric classes. So I've basically been thrown into the deep end of taking over a new timetable, so getting used to the routine of that timetable, and then having 2 matric classes, and then my grade 11 and my grade 10 class is new as well. So it basically feels like term 1 all over again. I'm getting to know the kids, figuring out how to manage their behavior, their personality. So it's been rough, but we'll get there. So yeah, the progress has been minimal, but progress has been happening. Okay, so let me jump into my half finished object. I did actually manage to finish a sock, but this is purely because we had parents' evening. I don't want to drive all the way home and then go back to work, so I stayed at work and I managed to finish my first sock. It looks so weird because it's a 2x2 ribbed sock, but it looks so stunning once it's on the foot. So I'm very happy, very pleased with how this turned out. I'm going to put it on my hand so that you can see. I carried on with the 2x2 rib on the front of the sock, and the back is just plain stockinette. I opted for a contrast colored toe, and I think I made the right choice there. And then I did a normal what is this called, a slip stitch heel flap and gusset, and I think that is, I'm getting so much better with these gussets because they're turning out neater and neater every time I do them. And yeah, quite excited. I am still contemplating.
Oh, hi.
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 Goed en jy? So I'm contemplating adding a ruffle in the contrast color to the top, but I'm crocheting that on if I do end up doing it. And then I think it would be so cute, like if you fold it over and you had a little ruffle. Wouldn't that just be gorgeous? Let me know what you think. Do you think I should add a ruffle or not? Maybe I'm just on a ruffle kick after finishing the chunky souffle, and I just want to crochet ruffles onto everything. So I think it would be cute. Let me know. Other than that, there's not much to say about the sock. It's a basic cuff down construction, normal rounded toe, nothing fancy. It's basically just the 2x2 rib that makes it look super fancy, and it's not actually that fancy. Yeah, lots of fun. I don't know why I haven't made a 2x2 rib sock before. Like, why did I wait so long to make something so cute? So yeah, the first sock is done. I did start with the second sock as well. Made some good progress on that. I think this was on Thursday or Friday when I finally settled down and I managed to get some of the admin-y things sorted and had some time to sit down and work on the sock. So yeah, we're in to the leg bit. Now it's just 2x2 rib all the way. I enjoy 2x2 rib a little bit more because it's not as mindless as 1x1 rib, and it's actually a lot of fun, and I love the way that it looks. I just love the look of 2x2 rib. So I'm making this with Knotty Habit Kaiso yarn. It was a sock set that I bought ages ago. I think I did say in the previous episode in 2022, yeah, end of 2022, and I'm making it in my favorite way to make socks, which is on 9-inch circulars, and I'm using my Addy sock and winders. If I'm not mistaken, this is a 2.5mm. It's just the most comfortable way for me to make socks. Anything smaller, I think my gauge gets way too tight. I think I have tried knitting socks in a 2mm before, and it was just way too tight. So 2.5 is my go-to. Oh, and I'm just following the counts as per the Crazy Sock Ladies normal vanilla cuff down sock. So yeah, lots of fun with this one. Can't wait to finish them and then maybe add that ruffle. Okay, the second whip that I have to show you is my Musselburgh Hat. I did make some progress, but this one hasn't been getting so much love. I think in the previous episode I was still busy with the increases. Ignore the stitch marker. That's just my measuring point that I'm going to use. I was still busy with the increases, yes. So I'm done with the increases now, and now it's just stockinette knitting. I'm making this with African Expressions Joy, which is a South African yarn. It is a 15% mohair, 40% superwash wool, and 45% acrylic blend. And the stitch definition is ridiculous. Just look at that. Oh, it's stunning. And this is just my in the car project. So I'll probably work on this one a little bit later today, because we are going on not a road trip, but we need to go all the way to Pretoria, and that's about an hour's drive from where we are. So this will get some love for sure. Absolutely. And oh, I love this color. This is like just the most electric blue. So yeah, she's been getting love. Oh, and I'm working this on a 3.75 millimeter fixed cable needle. So I'm not magic looping, I'm continuous looping now that I have finished the increases. And I'm going to color block this, so once I'm done with the blue, or once I've worked the blue until a certain point, I'm going to change to another color and color block the beanie. So essentially I'll end up having two beanies in one. And I think that's what makes this Musselburgh pattern so loved, is the versatility that it offers. I would love to try a striped version out of scrap yarn. Alrighty, then the next whip, so the third whip that has been getting some work done but not nearly enough, is my Real Easy Raglan, the one that I'm making for Dion. So this one is on a go slow at the moment. I just haven't been getting the joy out of playing stockinette in the evenings. I think with work being so demanding right now, my brain hasn't switched off, and I can't relax with a plain stockinette pattern at night. I need to do something that still tickles my brain. So even though I have worked on this, I did not make a ton of progress. I think in the previous episode I had just picked up for the sleeve and maybe started with the decreases. So I did work on it, but not nearly enough. I think I could have finished the sleeve if I wanted to, if I actually picked this up at night. But nonetheless, the sleeve is almost there. I think I'm about 10 rows away from starting the cuff, and then I think this one will fly, because once the sleeves are done, it's just stockinette on the body, and that's not going to take forever. Let me rephrase, I hope that that's not going to take forever. So yeah, not much to say about this project, except that the plain stockinette is a nice palette cleanser, and I think once I've settled into a proper routine at work, the palette cleanser will be needed again. So yeah, it's made with Rowan yarns, felted tweed. No, I'm getting a blank. I think it's called felted tweed, and it's this gorgeous maroony browny color with little speckled tweedy bits in between. But I think once this one's done, it's going to be gorgeous, and I think Dion's only going to be wearing that next year. But it's fine. It'll be done soon. Okay, so the next whip got love because this one actually tickled my brain in a way that I needed it to be tickled, because it's a bit more demanding and I need to focus on it. And it is my Ingrid sweater, and this is a pattern by Petite Knit. It's an all over textured sweater, but it looks way more intimidating than it actually is. So in the previous episode, I had just started with this second little diamond section. I worked through that. There are mistakes in here as well. I don't know what I did. Don't even know if I'm going to be able to find them now. But like I said in the previous episode, mistakes are part of it being completely handmade. What is a handmade sweater without a mistake? I mean, come on. But yeah, so it's made in this gorgeous red color. It is Al Yarns' Merino DK in the colorway Russet. And yeah, I'm just chipping away at this little bit by little bit. And this pattern here just did exactly what it needed to do this week. My brain couldn't switch off, so I had to do something that required some focus, and even though there are a few mistakes, I still really love how this came out. I'm through the eyelet section after this as well, and now it's just a second 2x2 rib section, and then I'm almost done with the body, because once I'm done with the 2x2 rib, it's just a 1x1 rib, cast off, pick up for the sleeves, pick up for the collar, and it's an almost finished object. So I'm working this on 4mm needles, exactly as per pattern. I have not deviated at all. I think it's because I don't know how to deviate from the pattern when it's an all over textured, all over patterned pattern. Her pattern writing skills are just next level. I love her writing style, and I love the look of this, and I can't wait for this to be an effort. So yeah, that's it for whips. Okay, not quite. Yesterday, the Bioscope in Johannesburg had a knit in cinema day, which basically means you watch a movie with the lights on, and you get to craft while you're watching the movie, which was a lot of fun. So when I first saw this, they had their first one last month, and I think I was a bit late to the party. And when I saw that they're having another one, I was like, I need to book tickets. So a bunch of our hooker friends booked tickets. We had an amazing meet up there. We watched A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger. Oh, by the way, I'm having a homemade mochaccino. It's just a cappuccino sachet with a spoon or two of hot chocolate, and that's my favorite drink at the moment. So we had a little meet up there yesterday. I took our crafty things with. People were knitting, people were crocheting. There was this one oak who was actually drawing like digital art. He was busy with digital art whilst the movie was playing. It was just amazing, and it's really intimate. It's an independent theatre. I think they've been operating for 14 years now, and the oak that's managing or running it at the moment, he actually came to speak to us beforehand, and he was just telling us that he started this because his mom's an avid knitter and his mom's friends are avid knitters, and they actually knit for charity. And funny enough, I wanted to take a mindless project with, so I took my big scrappy granny blanket, just some scrap balls with, so that I can make some blocks and then join them to the actual blanket when I get home, and hopefully show the progress here today. I decided to take a mindless project because I didn't want to work on something that I needed to focus on whilst watching a movie, because a granny square I can just go, I don't even need to look at what I'm doing. So anyways, back to the story. He was telling us how they knit blocks for charity, and that he's decided to open up this Knit in Cinema Day as an initiative to help that charity with blocks, because they collect blocks from different organizations, join them to make blankets, and then they donate it. And when he said that, I was like, well, let me see if I can make 1 or 2 blocks and then donate them when this is done, and then I can always join blocks to my own blanket another day. So I ended up making 2 10-row granny squares, which basically measures about 20 by 20 centimeters, and I donated them at the end of the movie, and it was just such a wholesome day. I'll see if I can add some pictures. It was so much fun. They have another one in August, the 10th of August, for a Women's Day, like a little Women's Day celebration. So I might just do that again. We'll see. Yeah, it was so much fun. And it was just so good catching up with all of my friends and meeting new people. Oh, such a wholesome day. Alright, then, what am I currently reading? So I finished The Caller by Chris Carter. Such a twist in the end. I did not see it coming. I always say this, I never see the twist coming. I can't say what's going to happen. I don't know who the killer is until the very end. And this one just made so much sense. And it actually comes with a message as well, which is basically, don't text and drive. I'm not going to spoil the book if you want to read it. And yeah, it's just amazing. So good. Then I picked up a new book. So when was this? End of June Yon and I went away for a weekend, and on the way back we stopped at Menlyn Mall, and the wind was so strong that day it literally just blew me into Exclusive Books, and they had a bit of a sale going on, so I got 2 new books there as well. And I know I have a big to-be-read pile at home, but you're not a reader if you don't constantly add new books to your to-be-read pile and then you read the new books first. So that's what happened. That's what has happened. I picked up Atomic Habits by James Clear. So if you don't know me, I enjoy reading actually anything, okay? On top of that list is any crime. Second on that list is anything by Stephen King, so not necessarily crime, but some kind of horror with a fantasy element. Love that. Third on that list is biographies, and fourth on that list is any kind of self-help, realistic self-help book, okay? So anything by Mark Manson, anything by Ryan Holiday, and then I saw this oak, a lot of people were referencing him in other books that I've read, so I was like, I need to read this. So I picked up Atomic Habits. It's basically just making tiny little changes in your life to improve your life, and he's saying that yes, people think that habits are boring and having a routine is boring, and the truth is it's not. It's setting you up for long-term success. So I really am enjoying what I'm getting from this book. You can see I've read quite a bit. I try to read in the mornings before our morning meeting starts. Yes, I'm that person that sits in an entire staff room by myself reading a book because I need to get the knowledge. So yeah, I'll read the blurb for you. People think when you want to change your life, you need to think big. But world-renowned habits expert James Clear has discovered another way. He knows that real change comes from compound effect of hundreds of small decisions. Doing 2 push-ups a day, waking up 5 minutes earlier, or reading just 1 more page. He calls them atomic habits. So he basically goes on to give you practical ways of implementing tiny little changes that compound over time and which leads to long-term success. And yeah, loving this. Can't wait to see how this is going to impact the way I live my life, because I think I have good routine. I have good habits. I definitely have sober habits. I'm not a big drinker. I don't smoke. We run. We go to the gym. We used to go to the gym, but now we're running a bit more. So yeah, good habits. And I think I can just improve on that a little bit more. Anyways, this was a quick, sweet and short episode, and I hope you had fun joining me. I hope you have a lovely weekend further, and please share what you're working on as well. I love to see and I love to hear what other people are working on, because that's where I get my inspiration from. So yeah, have a good one. Stay hooked. Bye.